Hi everybody, welcome, and today we're talking about the new shoe from Saucony, the Endorphin Pro. So before we get into my shots on the shoe, let's talk about the specifications of it. It's an 8mm drop, 7.5 ounces, built purely for running fast. So the shoe has, in terms of its look, it's got a track spike upper, which they're calling form fit. Then it has a carbon plate, so you can see how there's not very much flex. It has a carbon plate to provide rigidity, and then it has this Power Run PB foam, which is going to make the landing a lot softer, and it's going to help you roll forward in combination with the carbon plate for an awesome toe-off feeling, which Saucony is calling their speed roll technology. So as I said, it's 7.5 ounces in men's size 9, and it's one of the best shoes I have ever run in. So let's get my thoughts on the shoe. Well, I've worn it honestly only for a couple miles because I don't want to race it, or waste it, I should say, before races come back. But my immediate impression of the shoe was how much more stability it has than the normal shoe that I've been wearing with a carbon plate in it. So from other brands, you'll notice as soon as you look at the shoe and compare it to the others, which I will also do a video on, but you can see that it's got a wider base of support. So that doesn't necessarily mean this is a wide shoe. It's a neutral shoe and it doesn't actually come in wide. But unlike the other shoes where I have to cram my foot in, this fit more like a glove. Okay, so it's a lot nicer feel to it. As I walk, the first thing I always do when I get a new shoe with this awesome cushioning is walk around in it. And I didn't feel the same way like I was bouncing on clouds with this one. And so I was a little bit concerned. However, as soon as I started running in it, I noticed why it's so much better than the other brand. My favorite part about this was the speed roll technology. So although it doesn't look like there's a big drop so you're going to roll forward, the carbon plate is works with the foam so that when you land on the heel of your foot, the carbon plate is going to work to bring you to the front, and it's going to provide you a nice rigid toe off to run most efficiently. So when I put it on, my number one thing that once I started running was it was impossible to go slow in this shoe. The final thing is I noticed when comparing it to some other brands that it's got almost full rubber on the bottom in comparison. Although you can see a little bit of the exposed foam here, there's this rubber which is going to provide this shoe significantly more durability. When I spoke to the people from Saucony, they mentioned that 400 kilometers is probably is approximately what you'll get out of the shoe in terms of running, which is significantly more than a lot of the competitors at a lower price point. So this is coming in at $250 Canadian. So much better than some of its competitors. So let's talk about how the foam and the carbon plate work for a minute. So I've already mentioned that it's the toe off, but a lot of people are saying that the carbon plate revolution is all about the carbon plate. I 100% disagree, and I had Jared Ward on my talks a few months ago, which you can find a link to in the description, and he said something very, very similar, that this shoe, and a lot of the other ones, the best part of it is the foam, because what it's doing is it's saving your legs from a lot of the pounding later on in a race, and it's providing that energy return to your stride, so you're going to run faster. So it's twofold. It's saving your legs and it's making you run faster. The carbon plate is not necessarily saving your legs, and the carbon plate is more there, in my opinion, to hold that foam in place. Otherwise it would be mushy, right? It would be mushy. So unlike the other brands who haven't quite got this right, this shoe is a running shoe. Okay, so it doesn't feel like a space boot. You put it on and you can run in. The last thing that I would say is that from my research, they're talking about 4% improvement-ish for these shoes, 88% energy return with the foam, with the Power Run PB. And I would say that about in that 4%, 1% is the carbon plate, 3% is the new foam, but they have to work in unison with each other. So is this shoe a try, a buy, or a pass? This is definitely a buy for me. Like, I would not miss this shoe if I passed it in the store. Just look at these amazing colors. We haven't even talked about color. This shoe is a buy. I understand that some people may not be convinced that the carbon plate is for them, and that's true. I tend to think that if you're just going out and running every day for the enjoyment of it, you probably don't need to buy this shoe. But if you want to run faster, and if you're training every day to try and get faster, and you're looking to make gains outside of your training as well, this is the shoe for you. Now, when I'm saying make gains outside of your training, that doesn't mean that you can, if you're training for a marathon, you can run 30 fewer kilometers and this will make up for it. No. But it will make a difference of seconds, maybe minutes on race day. Thanks for tuning in. If you've tried the Endorphin Pro, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a good day.